Hi guys, so this is a very different video from my usual videos, but it actually kind of coincides with getting ready for Halloween. So if you've read the description or the title, it is how I block out my eyebrows. Now there are so many different ways to do this and there are so many different videos to do this, but my preferred way is to use spirit gum. So I'm kind of going to show you how I do mine. So the only products you're going to need for this are spirit gum, concealer. Now I've got two. I've got an orange toned concealer and I've also got a skin toned concealer because I kind of base it off of like that tattoo coverage, so that's why I use the orange one. Some powder, I'm using the Ben Nye Fair powder because it matches my skin tone, and that's it. So taking a spatula and the spirit gum, I'm going to dip the spatula in and then press my brows upwards and just kind of brush it into the hairs and then try to pin them upwards. It will take a while to kind of get it completely flat, but that's how I'm going to do it. You should have something like this. So as you can see, it's very flat against my face. It is all stuck up and that one is kind of a natural bushier brow. So I'm going to just do the same with the other eyebrow. Once they're both looking like this, you just need to let them dry. Now you might get some droppage or droopage, but it's absolutely fine because only a few hairs are going to drop and they might be just really short hairs anyway. If it hasn't dried completely, you can push them back down. Just be very gentle because you don't want to rip your skin, your hair or the product off your face. Okay, so now our brows are now dry. You can even touch them. They just feel dry. They're not sticky. They're not moving. Pretty much dry. You're going to take your concealer. Now I'm taking the orange one. And you're going to coat it over the brows and blend it out. Brush it in a sweeping upwards motion or whichever direction that you've put your brow hairs in. This way it limits the movement that you're going to give them and it also should help coat them evenly. So taking a fluffy brush, we are actually going to blend it out around the edges and kind of dabbing it in. Like so. It does look a bit scary, I have to admit, but don't worry. It'll all be alright on the night. So what I'm actually going to do is continue on with this brow and show you kind of the result. So after you've applied it and blended it out slightly, you're going to take some of your translucenty or coloured powder. It's better if you go for a high cover powder. And rather than brushing it on, we're going to sponge it on. So taking a pad, this one's a bit grubby, you're going to take a generous amount of powder and just pat it over the top. Push pretty hard because it's going to be damp if there are tiny hairs that have lifted. Now just taking a clean brush, we're just going to sweep away any excess. Go lightly and again brush upwards. So as you can see, we are pretty mattified around it, and there's this, now I can't figure this out because I can't, but for some reason my hairs, you can, like, they're covered, but then this like blended out bit just doesn't look right. I don't really know why. So from here I'm going to take another coat of the orange just over the top. Okay, so now you've got your second layer on and you've powdered it down, it's completely matte, you have no colour payoff, and you can tell that the brow is slightly there, but I think that's just due to the powder, but it is pretty covered with the orange. You're now going to take your high coverage concealer and you're going to conceal it up. Now if you don't have the orange concealer, you can just keep using high coverage concealer over it, but I would definitely recommend using a colour correcting concealer, maybe like a purple or something like that, just to kind of give it a bit more oomph. So here I'm just using my fingers, but I'm using the same technique as the brush, so I'm just making sure that I sweep in the right direction of my hairs and making sure I go completely over the orange as well. Now you're just going to blend out the edges. With that done, we're now just going to powder it down. Again, same technique. And there you have it. That is how I block out my eyebrow. It is pretty easy, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly easy to remove. I would definitely recommend using the Spirit Gum Remover because it's just more gentler, but I have found that using simple soap also helps remove and break it down, as well as alcohol. But if you are using the alcohol version, I would be very careful about your eyes because you do not want that stuff in your eyes at all. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, subscribe if you're not, and leave a comment down below what you thought. and I will see you in the next video. Bye.